Big up to the boys, Fox and Shane. Set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice. One thing cold, but a pretty turn red. Can't let that shit glitter in my hand, war gaming.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Hobby Homies. We are your weekly tabletop podcast. I'm Shane, hanging out with Fox.
That's me. We're hanging out with Churchy in the Void.
Yep, in the void.
He's also on Shane's t-shirt in the Void. So make sure you go to hobbyhomies.com, click the merch tab. You'll see that we got our store with our merch. It has returned.
Yes.
You can cop this right here.
You get one of these.
So-
Your own Churchy in the Void.
So speaking of Churchy in the Void, Shane, what are we talking about today?
Today we are doing a bit more of a candid conversation, I'm going to call it.
Candid.
It's a discussion, talking about hobby reflections, how it wins and losses throughout the year.
Yeah, because I want to know by the end of this, we got to give ourselves a W or an L
Oh, yeah.
for our individual 2024s and how
Yeah.
we did with hobby.
Yeah. At the start of next year, we'll do our goals like we do every year.
Yeah.
This is more a reflection
Yeah.
upon said goals.
We're looking into the mirror and ourselves are staring back and there's either a loser in the mirror
Yeah.
or a winner.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell myself every morning, you're not a loser, Fox. But today we're going to find it out. We're going to find out.
Am I a loser?
Am I a loser? Am I?
Yep.
So this is let us know what you think too, because we want to know, how do you feel about your 24?
Yeah.
And also, you'll probably listen to us. Probably.
Probably.
That's why you're probably
I
here.
mean, they're probably listening, unless they're just we're on mute just to get ad rev.
Yeah. Oh.
But thank you.
Yeah, big thank. Yeah, we're monetized now. We're too rich to do this every week. Can't we? When can we take our first paid vacation?
In 2034.
That's ambitious.
And we're going up the road.
Yeah, to the milk bar.
Yeah.
It's not even there anymore. It's literally going back in time.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah. Let us know. How was your 24? Do you feel like you gave yourself an L or a W? Don't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're probably like us. You've probably got a full-time job. You've probably got people that depend on you. And if not,
Yep.
you depend on you. And that's sometimes a lot of work.
I mean, you're still taking care of a person.
Yeah, they need it too. So, Shane,
Yeah.
tell me, how do you feel?
Not good. I feel
Yeah.
like I kicked off the year going really strong, right?
Tell me about it.
Like I had, there was the mini warm-ups challenge, smashed through that.
What did you paint for that? Remind me.
52 miniatures.
That's right. Based
Yeah.
on the channel,
Yeah.
52 miniatures, which is great. I haven't watched
It was a
them in-
collab.
It was a collab, yeah. They don't know.
No, he doesn't know.
No idea.
No, but did that, smashed through some sludge, made a game.
Pause.
I
Go
know,
back to
right?
the 52 miniatures.
Yep.
What was it? It was like a heap of different things, right?
It was just random stuff that I had. It was mostly stuff for parsecs.
You know what was great? I feel like we used a lot of those things for Quest and some other stuff. I feel like they've hit the table.
Oh yeah, they definitely
stuff
have
that
hit the
you paint
table.
to tape,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know, I mean, a lot of it's stayed in the tub because we haven't played parsecs for a while.
Yeah.
But it was there and it's painted now. And it's done.
Yeah.
It's finished. But yeah, so a couple of painting comps, challenges rather, made a game, Beyond Thunderdome,
Yep.
which was a lot of fun. Really, really proud of that. And smashed through some sludge. Like
Yeah.
I've got 3 full sludge armies.
I was going to ask, how many of those sludge armies did you do this year?
3.
All of them.
Yeah.
So you painted 52 miniatures,
Yep.
3 sludge armies,
Yep.
created a game,
Yep.
and you said something else? Said something else stupid?
Yeah, I was saying something
No,
stupid.
no. And then
That was-
something else. There was
that-
another painting challenge you did.
No, so I did a couple other painting challenges, which we don't talk about those.
There
They're
was
in my
one-
failures category.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I won't
Yep.
spoil anything, but
Yeah.
weren't you going to paint 100 miniatures or something?
Yeah, I got 39 of them done.
So in isolation, if you pretend it wasn't part of a challenge,
Yep.
you painted 52 miniatures, 3 sludge armies, then another 40 miniatures.
39 miniatures.
Okay, I was going to give you that one, but all right, yeah, Massachusetts, okay.
Self-loathing. I love it.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that
So,
sounds decent, dude.
yeah, look, I started off really strong, got heaps of stuff done in the start of the year. I've done a lot of terrain too, which is a big win for me because I was really lacking terrain.
Yeah,
And 3D printed a bunch of stuff.
you got a
Just
3D
slap
printer, by the
shop.
way.
Yeah, really started mucking around with that.
Yeah,
that was one of my goals, I'm pretty sure. So we'll talk about that at the start of the year. But just got a whole bunch of terrain done and painted, which was not really time consuming because it was all slap chopped, but it's to a point where I'm happy with it. It looks good on the table.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to like hold it up close and go, oh yeah.
Well, that's the same as all the stuff we just mentioned that you painted, which is over like 200 models, by the way.
Yeah.
You've painted over 200 models.
Yeah.
3 sludge armies, even if they're 20 models each, which are more, that's 60.
Yeah.
I can't math apparently because then 52 plus 39. It would be over 200 models that you painted.
Probably.
And you slap chopped them, and they all look fantastic. They all go on the table, and they all play.
Yeah.
Like painted models.
Yeah.
So, would you rather have 200 slap chop models or 20 bloody assault blood brothers?
No.
I call them blood brothers. I don't even know what their actual name is anymore.
That's what they're called.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
What do you mean? Other name.
Games Workshop's like, we're losing them. We're losing them.
I also painted like all my Nighthaunt too.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
That's well over 200 models. And
I did all right.
Being like, I didn't really do a good job. I got a L.
I'm just feeling like the last 3 months has been stagnant.
Yeah. What have you painted in the last 3 months that wasn't some slap chop terrain?
I'm going to say nothing.
Yeah. What do you think the reason for that is? Because you've never painted 200 models in your entire life and you did it in 6 months?
Maybe burnout.
maybe
burnout. I don't know. Like a lot of IRL stuff, right? Like work's been pretty hectic and there's a lot of stuff going on with that and you know, I'm spending heaps of time like with Max and just doing other stuff, I guess. Like
doing adult stuff.
Yeah. Like hobby, we still meet up every week and do this. We still play games. I'm playing games with like Caitlin. We had Gamerpalooza. You know, we're still living and breathing hobby, but I guess it's one of those things that just like it takes a back seat for a little while.
Yeah.
You do other stuff. And like no doubt, like the new year will roll around and I'll just hit the ground running because I got some bone fields that I want to get done.
Yeah.
That's all goal stuff that we'll talk about that later on at the start of the year and the new season. But as far as as that goes, like I feel started strong, but just flatlined at the end.
Sure.
Yeah.
What would, if you could, I guess this will bleed in a little bit into goals, but I'm curious, what do you think a good year looks like for you? Like, would you rather have painted 100 models, but done it like 10 every single month and stayed consistent through the entire year? Or would you rather look back at the year and go, yeah, I didn't do anything for the last 3 months, but that's because I've already painted well over 200. You sit down and you tell the Shane at the start of 2024 that you painted 3 separate sludge armies.
Yep.
Your entire Nighthaunt that had been sitting in magazine things for decades. At least decades.
Nearly.
Some of them don't even have rules anymore. That's how old they are. And you also, on top of all of that, painted an additional 100 miscellaneous models.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's all right.
And you're saying I failed because the last 3 months is pretty quiet.
Yeah, all right. If you average it out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. You painted...
I get a B minus.
Yeah, okay. What did you give yourself before?
F.
You almost painted a model every day. You painted like 0.75 models every day or something.
Yeah, I guess so. It's pretty good. That's all right. Thanks for enlightening me on that.
Nah, you're most welcome.
Forgot about all that.
You didn't forget. You literally said it all. You just don't know how to math.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't paint anything yesterday, so I get an F this year.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like...
Yeah. I know what you mean, though. I do know what you mean.
Yeah. Like, would I rather spread it out? Maybe.
It's what have you done for me lately? And you're talking to yourself, and you're like, I haven't done anything lately.
Yeah. But I did all this other stuff earlier on. Yeah, okay. You've opened my eyes. Thank you.
Yeah, and also the game that you made, the way you said it made it sound like you made this game at the start of the year. You did that like 2 months ago.
True.
So that's the thing you did in the last few months.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Created an entire game, played it.
I mean, like...
The word entire is doing some heavy lifting, but yeah.
Powerlifting right there.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I think you slayed.
Thanks, dude.
I think you slayed.
Tell me about your goal, your achievements.
I didn't slay. You won't be able to talk me out of this.
Come on, you painted some Shatterpoint minis.
Yours.
Wait, is that all this year?
No, so this year, I'll tell you the entirety of what I did. So I also started powerfully. I was a powerhouse at the start.
Yep.
I painted all of the riders for my Harlequins army.
Yep.
And dry brushed the vehicles, some edge highlighting. And so this army that had been sitting half done for 4 years now was finally, I called it done.
Yep.
And put it up on the shelf. And we played a couple War Surge games with it, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So that felt like a big victory because I had this beautifully half done army that I finally could tick off. And B, which I guess is after A, numerically.
Follows along.
Yeah, it follows along.
Yep.
We used it for a game / battle report, which was very cool.
Yep.
And you know what I was thinking as I was thinking about painting those Harleys, thinking back to that time, it reminded me that we went to CanCon this year.
Right? Yeah.
And discovered Fjord Serpents this year.
Yep.
And all of the things that came with CanCon.
Mm-hmm.
The what's the pub that we went to?
The Edamoga.
In Tabletop.
Yep.
Is that where it is? It's in
Yeah,
Tabletop.
it's in Tabletop. Yep.
And we had the
Tabletop
beers there.
Hotel.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was this year.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was just a crazy thing. So Star Wars Unlimited came out.
Oh,
And I think that soaked up a lot of my time because
Yep.
anytime I would have spent hobbying,
Yep.
I was playing that either online or
Yeah,
sorting
building
through cards.
decks
And,
yeah, of course. And that's hobby adjacent.
It's hobby adjacent, but it's also not. It's tabletop games.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a little guilty pleasure.
Mm.
But it does feel like it's detracted from the type of hobby that I actually love.
Sure. Yeah.
I traded. It's kind of like video games. You trade doing something that you love for doing something that you like because it's easier.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was just doing that a little bit. Also sank just silly money into that.
Yeah.
Basically, all of whatever I would have spent on hobby purchases went into
Yeah.
Shatterpoint.
Yeah.
But I did paint some Star Wars Unlimited.
Yep.
I painted your squad of Vader
You did, and his boys.
and his boys because I was like, as soon as the other Imperial, there's like 2 or 3 more Imperial boxes, as soon as they drop, I'll get one of them, I paint them. Then you've got no excuse. That was the plan. That was the plan.
Yep. A couple of times I've actually picked up a couple of those boxes. And
Yeah.
I've just gone like, next time.
The
coming
Snowtrooper box is
soon.
very cool.
Yeah, it is very cool.
But it's also like, I wish they had a release too, because Snowtroopers are so themed
Yeah.
that it's like, well, I'm going to run those with, what's the other one? Normal Stormtroopers.
normal
That kind of makes
Stormtroopers.
that sense. Okay, that makes okay sense.
I mean, yeah.
Like, there would have been normal Stormtroopers in Hoth. They would have got called in. They would have been like, guys.
Yeah. Or at
We don't
least
have
they're
time to
like
kit you up,
on
but-
the ship
Yeah.
in the climate controlled environment.
Yeah. Standing under the heaters.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the other ones I was like, I just wish they had made a full theme set like they did with the Ewoks.
Yeah.
They have 2 boxes so you can do a full Ewok theme. I'm like, do that for Hoth. Come, it's Hoth.
Yeah.
It's Star Wars. That's Hoth.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
What? This is a side tangent.
Go on.
What second set? So there's the Hoth boys.
Yep.
With Veers, is it?
Veers, yeah.
There's Iden Verso, which you probably don't know. I don't really know her either.
They Death Troopers? No, they're in the black armor, right?
Are they Dark Troopers? I don't really know the difference. But yeah, they're in the
Yeah.
black armor.
Yeah.
But they're more Stormtroopers in the black armor.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
there's also Gideon
Yeah.
with the Death Troop, like the robotic ones.
Yeah. I was thinking probably Tarkin with the snowtroopers.
Yeah.
Or I know
Was
of
it Tarkin or Veers with the
Oh,
Stormtroopers?
sorry, Veers. Sorry,
With
it
the
is Veers.
Hothies.
Yeah. I would then maybe Iden with the
Sure. I was thinking to go with your
Black armor.
other set.
yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
you would think the Hoth ones with those ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think if I get a second set, well, that's good because the Hoth ones will be easy to paint
Yeah. Yeah.
because they'll be what's the bone contrast
White.
paint?
Oh,
Yeah.
Wraithbone?
Yeah, put a bit of that over and then dry brush some white
Nice.
because they'll have that like
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so yeah, I painted your things.
Yep.
Then I painted one squad of my things, which is like it's Luke and it's Leia with her mask on because they're trying to break out Han Solo.
Yes. Yep.
Lando in his disguise.
When she's dressed up like the bounty hunter.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. And she has a name as the bounty hunter, which is interesting.
Oh, really?
So I guess they expanded on that maybe
Yeah.
in some other medium, probably a comic.
Mm.
But the card itself doesn't say well, I think it says Leia as a keyword,
Yeah.
but it's named after whatever her.
Bounty hunter character was
So
named.
she must have had a whole arc as that
Yeah.
character, which is cool. I should
Yep.
look into that. And then it's got R2D2 serving drinks
Yeah.
in the cantina, so that's
Nice.
cool.
Yep.
So I painted that. And I also painted the mini swap. The Hobby Homies
yeah.
mini swap happened this year as
Yeah.
well.
Wow, I did too.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah, it's
you
been
know,
it's been a
PAX,
flat out year.
CanCon,
Yep.
mini swap. That's about it.
I went to Moab. Gamapalooza.
You went to Moab.
Yep.
Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that's been happening this
Yep.
year, which is cool. We started battle reports and going hard on that channel.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Two channels with 1,000 subs each.
Hey, we never even celebrated battle reports getting 1,000.
Another live
We do this
stream.
all the time. Another live stream, everyone. 3 hours. Pencil it in. I purchased Fallout,
Yep.
Wasteland Warfare, and opened that and looked at it and went, wow, that's so cool.
Yep.
And then put it away.
Boxed it up. Yep.
And then I purchased Fallout Factions
Yep.
and opened that and got a heap of terrain for that printed
Yep.
and then put all of that away.
Yep.
But I did prime some of that.
Nice.
And so that was kind of a bit of a that's to me, I view that as a hobby L because I made two big purchases that currently haven't done anything with.
Yeah.
So my backlog went backwoods.
Yep.
Yep. So that to me is what I think of when I think of hobby L's, as well as Unlimited's not a hobby L, but well, it's kind of a hobby L and a card game win, I guess.
I reined in my purchases this year,
Yeah.
so I feel like that's probably a W.
Yeah. So you painted stacks of models.
And I still made a few purchases that maybe I shouldn't have, like Vermintide. What's it called? The Skaven box.
Oh yeah.
The new Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, that one.
Whatever that one's called.
It's Vermintide.
Is it Vermintide? That's the video game.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
what we'll call it.
Vermintide, the tabletop game.
The Skaven Age of Sigmar
Isn't there
box.
somewhere that we could just see it? Skaventide?
Skaventide.
around and-
It's kind of like Vermintide.
I'm pointing to something on the shelf.
Yep.
That's a bingo scratch, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And I'm on my phone. Churchy, can you give me another beer?
Am I sunburnt? 'Cause
Yeah.
I hope not.
Always.
I've been drowning myself in sunscreen.
Just so they don't get bingo scratches.
It's raining and I'm putting sunscreen
Yeah,
on.
like it just keeps washing off.
Yeah.
Yes, the mini swap happened, so I painted that as well. But
Yep.
the chain of command Russians,
Yeah.
I painted a full chain of command.
Yeah,
army.
that's a big W.
And that was a big W because I didn't have a game lined up for it.
No.
I was like, I don't think Shane, you might not ever paint your Germans.
I'll get around to it.
Yeah, okay, chief. And I was like, but I didn't need that as motivation. I was like, these models look cool. I was going through a bit of a World War II thing, playing a lot of Hell Let Loose on the
Yeah.
And I was just loving building these things and being like, wow. I remember messaging you being like, you know what's cool about this game? The lore is things that actually happened.
Yeah, the lore.
We call their lore history.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
the pouch that I'm putting on this person is something that someone would have had. Cool's not the right word in that time, but it's immersive to a new level, and also you've got just a bigger respect for what you're doing and what you're playing.
Definitely.
And it does have a cooler element to it.
Yep.
And so that kind of opened my eyes up to historicals because we've always been like, historicals are such a hard gateway to overcome, which is the historical accuracy.
Yep.
But I can definitely understand why people love it because the historical accuracy is actually one of its biggest strengths. Mm-hmm. It's the coolness of reenacting these battles that actually happened and doing fights that similar things would have happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, anyways, that was a tangent, but yeah, Chain of Command Russians.
Nice.
In a winter theme, which was cool.
Yep.
And I painted a full combat patrol of Skaventide.
Yeah.
Not one full box, but I took whatever the combat patrol for the game is, and I painted that so I could play combat patrol, which I never did. So,
Nice.
but still,
it's overrated.
and everything I just mentioned, I did in the first 5 months of the year.
Wow. You did hit the ground running.
I did, and
Hustle.
then since then, not a single model was painted for the last 7 months.
No.
Doesn't feel right, does it?
No. Surely you've painted like some random Hacker Slam model or something.
No. I did try. In fact, it's funny you say that. I was like, I need to paint something.
Yeah.
So I built a little Hakkaslam model. I primed him. He's a very cool character. I started to paint him, and he's still sitting on top of my fridge because I was like, I'll put him here so I don't forget that I'm working on that right now.
Yeah.
Something else I painted was 100 little Vikings. But again, that was all in the first 5 months or
Wow.
yeah. So I haven't actually done any hobby for the last 6.5 months.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, and I don't know what to attribute. I do. I know I attribute that solely to children not sleeping
Yep.
and work.
Yep.
Because in previous years that we've done this hobby, sometimes I lack hobby motivation, and I try and overcome that with different things with varying degrees of success. This time, I have for the last 7 months, my hobby motivation has been high,
Yep.
but the energy to actually execute that
Yep. Yep.
couldn't be lower.
The motivation is there.
Yeah.
You just can't make it happen.
The heart and mind are willing, but the body
is broken.
she's broken.
Yep.
So that's where I've been at for the last 7 months. But
Yep.
I feel like I am mere days away from putting paint on plastic.
Nice.
I'm just
nice.
chomping at the bit. Work is kind of pseudo finished
Yep.
for the year,
Yep.
and so I'm just looking at things right now in my hobby flat, going, not when am I going to paint you, but which thing is the next thing.
Yep.
And I'm excited about that.
Is that your losses? Is that you? Are you chalking all that up as your failure of the year? You just the lack of hobby for the last 6 months, or have you got specific things that you thought you might have maybe achieved, little projects that
Yeah.
you just didn't get to, or
Yeah, the biggest hobby L I have, the thing that I'm most annoyed at myself, there's two that I would say are equal.
yeah,
The first is not finishing enough of Fjord Serpents to get it on the table for
Yeah.
us.
yeah,
Because I love that game. I love the miniatures. It's a difficult slog to paint so many tiny little humans.
yeah, yep.
Um,
Because they're at 10 mil scale or whatever they are.
yeah,
They're tiny.
exactly. And so they
Yep.
kind of feel like they take as long as to paint, because I slap chop thing like full scale models in like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Because they got big surface areas. You
Yeah,
can slap
yeah.
paint on, you can oil paint them and scratch off the oil paint, and everything blends together. And it looks great.
yeah,
Whereas these things feel like they actually take longer than that, because you have to be so precise.
yeah,
And you can tell they don't look good if you slap paint in the wrong spot.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you kind of have to look at them, but you want to, because they're so cool. You pick up a ship and you go, you know?
yeah.
So I want to do them well, but they take a long time, and that's been the toughest. So the biggest L is not getting that done
Yeah.
for me. And the other one is not playing more Shatterpoint, because I just lie in bed thinking about it. And I could do it, but it's the energy thing as well. It's
Yeah,
like after
yeah.
I finish a day of work, put the kids to bed, organize dinner, all that kind of stuff, then drive all the way to Banno to meet the guy that plays it.
Yeah.
He could set up everything for me.
Yeah,
And all I have
yeah.
to do is show up and play, but I just don't have the energy to do such a thing.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think I am giving myself an L for the year. I think I did well at the start, and I don't hold myself accountable for not having energy.
Yeah.
I think I just give myself an L because I know I could have done more if I had have just gone back to an older Hobby Homies episode
Yeah.
that talked about beating hobby burnout and talked about death by 1,000 cuts and said just do a little bit every day, because I know if
Yeah.
I could have found half an hour twice a week,
Yeah.
I'd be looking back and going, I didn't do nothing for the last 7 months. I actually painted this whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I wish I had have done that, and that's why I give myself an L. But you don't be this hard on yourself. You've got reasons, I'm sure.
Yeah. Everyone's got reasons.
You listener.
Yeah. I dropped the ball on a few things that I really wish I didn't.
Yeah, like what?
Like 2 particular challenges.
Yeah.
Mini warm-ups painting challenge. He had one where it was going the distance, where you would just select whatever you want to paint, right?
Yeah.
In whatever scale you want. It was his painting challenges are so easy to get into.
Yeah.
And I maybe a bit of more than I could chew.
Sure.
I set out 100 models.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna slap chop all of these. Most of them are Nighthaunt, so I'll get that done.
Yeah.
Well, 30 of them are Nighthaunt, but like that's like half done already.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
and like these little other things that could just be done in batches and smashed out. But I just went through a phase and I just couldn't pick up the brush, and I just didn't have the energy, the time, the concentration.
Yeah.
And I got 39 out of 100 done, which is still 39 models.
Yeah.
But it's you know, it's not 100.
Yeah.
Like if you look at that in percentage wise, it's pretty poor effort.
If only we could quickly gauge how much percentage 39 out of 100 is.
No one knows.
It's probably 50-50, probably.
It's about 50-50.
Yeah.
So there was that challenge, which is quite disappointing. I even filmed a video on it, and I didn't edit it and I didn't upload it, and I don't know why. Maybe it was the video that I did was about failing stuff and how it's okay to fail stuff.
Yeah.
Like you know, you don't grow, you don't learn if you don't fail.
Yeah.
And like I did this thing and I wasn't happy with the video, so I just left it. Didn't do that too. So that's a big L there for me as well.
Yeah. Well, it's actually, we'll turn into a big W because that's a great segue into talking about, although we give ourselves these L's, I think it's important to know that's not the written story of our hobby.
No.
You painted over 200 models.
Yeah.
I painted over 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it front loaded at the start of the year.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've done nothing else, but we're actually going to go into the start of next year refreshed, ready to go. We've also dedicated a lot of time and effort into building our Battle Report channel.
Yep.
And doing podcast related stuff. So I think like you can give yourself an L for the year and then we just move on.
Yeah, yeah.
And overall, our hobby this year and even last year, comparative to the years before, is such big W's.
Oh, yeah, in the grand scheme of things.
In sheer volume,
absolutely.
If you value like painting models purely as an L or a W, which really we shouldn't do because are we having fun? Have we done a podcast about this thing for 5 years now?
Yeah.
Are we still having a blast? Are we building every day?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think overall, as humans, we're big W's. And so are you guys.
W's.
But yeah, you're right. Losing isn't... I mean, if you're painting models, you're playing games, you're having fun, and you're taking breaks when you need to take breaks, I think that's part of the hobby.
Yep.
You can't do this thing all year round, every single month, every single week.
No.
Consistently over 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
There's going to be times like we've had recently where you just put it down, but we're still in a studio filled with everything.
Yeah. I think it's healthy, right? It's healthy to take those kind of breaks.
It's balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was another challenge that I was a bit disappointed on myself was Axanax ran like a 15mm scale one.
Oh, I was very excited to see that, by the way.
Yeah, like I was painting up these rank and flank, like Napoleonic Prussians. Yeah. They were like, it was like the Waterloo campaign or something like that.
Yeah.
And I built them all and I'm like, these guys are so cool. They're in their, their file. And I painted maybe one and a half of them.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing that you had with your Field Serpents.
Yeah, we're kind of doing them at the same time too. So we were both like, this is harder than I thought it was going to be.
Right? Because you have to put so much more effort. Everything is just so much smaller.
Yeah.
I think smaller scale works in some ways. Yeah. But at the same time too, it's like if you want to be able to pick it up and look at it, which you will because of how small they are.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to hold it that much closer than you are a 28mm model.
Not to mention, too, it takes so much more painting to get the satisfaction because if you paint a single cool model in 30 minutes or an hour or two and you pick it up and you look at it, you get that satisfaction.
Yeah.
When you're trying to do a Viking ship filled with these things, you don't get it until you've painted 8 little flanks, which is 8 times 4. What's that? 50. Yeah. Into the actual ship with its sails. That's 6 or 8 hours of painting. I mean, we speed paint here, so you guys are probably like, 8 hours of painting, I'd do that in a night. Whatever.
Yeah.
But you know what we mean. Like, it feels like you have to paint that much more to be able to put it in a ship and go, that looks good.
Yep.
Or like a full rank and flank, tile or whatever.
Yeah.
Before you go, that looks good.
Yeah.
So the gap between painting and satisfaction is, it's delayed gratification. And we're iPad kids. We're not used to it. So, yeah. I think we probably touched on an important thing that the amount of models you paint and how consistently you paint them shouldn't be the antithesis of what is a W or an L. It probably should be, are you still having fun wargaming?
Yep.
And are you taking breaks if you need to take breaks?
Yep.
And are you growing as a human? That's probably the biggest W.
I
Who
think
gives
so.
a fuck about wargaming?
Yeah.
Like, are you contributing to the grander cosmic realm in some small way? I know I'm not, but you guys might be.
Yep. Well, yeah. Let us know your W's and L's in the comments, please, or in the Discord. Love to know what you've achieved and things that you maybe that you haven't.
Yeah.
This was a good conversation.
It's good reflection too, because I think knowing your L's is important, because then you go, all right, next time I do a painting challenge,
Yep.
maybe I'll do 50 models instead of 100.
Yeah. Bite off a little less.
Yeah.
Yep.
And maybe when I'm painting smaller scale stuff, I'm now prepared that it's going to be more difficult. And I go, maybe if I just do a little bit twice a week.
Do you think if you done like 4 guys at a time? Like is that the same as like a like a 1 at a time kind of deal?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think so. I think I've got them on little rows, and there's four. Anyways, the way I've got them set out, I could have just kept them in isolation, just painted these, put them away, and not tried to think about how many until the ship is done. You know? It's the old thing I've always suffered with, especially when we're playing like bigger scale games. It's like you take 10 models, you spend a week painting it, and then you go add it to the collection. You're like, oh no, look how much I have still to do.
Yeah.
But I think I should have been, I think a little bit. Death by 1,000 cuts definitely was something I could have hit. Heck, half an hour a week for the last 7 months would have been.
You would have had them done.
Would have had them done easy.
Yeah.
We'd be playing it right now.
But that's the thing too. It's like it's your mindset as well. It's like, okay, you look at how much more you've got to go, but maybe look at how much you've done.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's 10 guys there. They weren't done last week.
Yeah.
They're done now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Cool.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week. Hopefully,
We'll be
this
around.
has been good for all of you to think about. Yeah, what did you do? Like Shane said, what are your L's, but also what did you do this year? And you know what? If you didn't do a single thing, but you're ready to go for next year, that's a W to us.
That's still a W.
Yeah.
Yep. Next year's our Christmas special.
Did you say next year's Christmas?
Next week's our Christmas special.
Yeah, a bit sooner than next year, but
sooner.
only just.
Yeah. Yep. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to looking back upon the year and reflecting in our own different ways.
Yeah. So if you are unfamiliar, our Christmas special is just an amalgamation of funny or notable events that happened on the podcast throughout the last year.
Yep.
That Shane, through some sort of dark magic, clips together.
Most of it's handpicked by MJ.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, MJ.
Her comments are so good. She's like, "This is end of year special worthy." I'm like, "Yep, noted."
Noted. And noted. Thank you, MJ. You're invaluable.
Absolutely.
Which makes you valuable, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Massive shout out to our patrons. For $2 a month, you get early access to videos like this and battle reports and other fun, cool stuff.
Yeah, fun, cool stuff.
Yep.
Discord rolls.
Discord rolls. Some physical rewards. Massive shout out to these absolute legends, including Rescued Ruckus, legendary MJ, Moose, Fatboy, and Tom. Real one, that's you, Numa. The goats, we have Burnsy, Final Dinosaur, Hockers, Gridlock, Journeyman, Matty, Matt.
We got the OGs, Darren M, Souls, IU Warrior, Churchy, Rad, Ollie, Penny, Don Juan, Dom, Pure Blind, Jackson V, Mini Walmart, Oswald Gaming, Analog Line, Tim Smith, and Big Roach. You're all invaluable, which means you are
valuable.
We finish each other's
sandwiches.
And we'll see you next week.
Hooray.
Big up to the boys, Fox and Shane. Set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice. One